Today's lecture, we'll study exception handling. This is very important topic. It evolves in, you can say, in C++ and then in Java. It was not in C. So it evolved in C++, then Java, and it is also in Python. So exception means, first of all, you should know about three kinds of errors, which are syntax error, logical error, and third one is runtime error. So syntax error is basically error in writing the code. Like if you write print statement and if you don't follow the proper syntax, then syntax error will occur. Fine. There could be indentation error also. If you don't put the proper indentation, then such kind of error occur. But indentation error comes under exceptions or runtime errors. Logical error means if you have developed the wrong logic. Suppose you are intended to perform sum of two numbers and accidentally you have written A into B. So you will get the wrong result. There is no problem in syntax, but you have written the wrong operator, due to which you will get the wrong answer. So this is called logical error. And runtime error means errors which occur at execution time. Runtime are called runtime errors. Let's suppose if you are going to divide a number by 0, if the denominator is 0, then this is basically not defined. So this will raise an error, and such error is called exception. Fine. Or if you have specified the list size, let's suppose 5, and you are inputting elements beyond 5, you are giving 6 elements or more elements, then such error is called exception. Fine. And there is type error also. There are various kinds of exceptions which we will study in this chapter in detail. So we will study Python exceptions. What are built-in exceptions? Exception handling. Exception handling is done with try, except, and finally. And then what are user-defined exceptions? So we'll study all these topics in detail. So let's start. Let's understand through this code. Suppose I'm going to input a number, enter a number, and I have converted it into integer, and then I'm going to divide it. If number mod 2 is equal to 0, it will print number is even, because this is remainder. It will compute the remainder modulus operator, and if it is divisible by 2, then remainder will be 0, and we'll get the message number is even. Fine. And then print out of if block. So is there any problem in this logic? Yes, there is a problem, because in if statement we need to write colon over here, which is not we have mentioned here. So it will generate a compiler error, or you can say interpreter error, interpreter time error, invalid syntax, because we didn't put the colon over here. In if statement we need to put colon before writing its block. So colon was missing, that's why it will give an error, invalid syntax. It is giving error over here, you can see, means colon is required. So this error is called syntax error. Fine. Next, what is an exception? Exception is called runtime error. I already told you, an error which occurs at runtime or execution time is called an exception. By the occurrence of these errors, Python creates an exception object. If not handled properly, it prints a traceback to that error along with some details about why that error has occurred. So by default, it raises an error and it gives you a warning that something wrong has occurred. By default, you can also create your own exceptions. You can also create your own exceptions that we'll study. Okay, now let's see the code for runtime error. This is a code. We have input a number, number is equal to input, enter a number, and then we have converted into an integer. So let's suppose if we input 0, then this will be computed as C is equal to 15 divided by 0, and then print C. Since we are dividing 15 by 0, it will raise an exception. You can see 0 division error or division by 0. This is an exception. This is not a normal error. It's not a syntax error. This is called exception or runtime error. Fine. So this is a simple example of a runtime error. Now how to handle it? We'll understand how to handle it in Python. First of all, you should have a glimpse of Python built-in exceptions. There are numerous built-in exceptions as given over here. Assertion error, attribute error, description is given over here, raised when assert statement fails, raised when attribute assignment or reference fails. Suppose we are giving wrong attribute in a function or there are mismatch in attributes, then attribute error occurs. Then EOF error, that means end of file error. So these exceptions are relating to file handling, these two. So there are numerous built-in exceptions like 0 division. We have studied over here, 0 division error. This is also built-in exception. All of these are built-in exceptions. Floating point error, generator exit, import error. There are numerous kinds of errors. You can see their description in this table. So all of them are built-in. See, the last one is 0 division error. Now how to handle by our own? We can handle them by using try, except, and finally clauses. There are 3 clauses which are used with exception handling: try, except, and finally. In Java, we use try, catch. In place of except, catch is used, but in Python, we use try, except, and finally. So let's see a code for it. Suppose I have this program in which we have to divide a number by a proper integer. It should not be 0, it should not be a character, and it should not be a floating point number. Fine. Before using try and except and for printing a proper message, we need to import this module known as sys, because exception handling errors are displayed by using this module, by using one of the function of this module, which is excinfo. That means exception info. Exception info is a module, is a function which is defined inside this sys package or module. Fine. So you need to import this package sys. So before writing the code, we'll write while true. While true means we are writing a loop which is set as true. Then we have put colon, and inside it we write try clause. Try means a block of statements which is crucial, in which we are doubting that it can raise an exception. We put that code inside a try block. You need to remember this. A crucial code which can raise a runtime error is written inside a try block. Try colon, and then we'll write the statement x is equal to input, enter an integer. We have written the message that the number should be an integer, and then r is equal to 1 divided by x, and then break. See, this loop is true, is set as true forever. So we need to break this loop by using the break statement. Whenever we get an integer, it will compute r, and then the loop will be broken. And in the except block, if user enters a character or a float number, then exception will raise. And in the except block, we will handle that message. We'll write print oops sys.exceptioninfo, 0 occurred. Whatever will be the exception, it will be displayed over here because it will get the message from exception info through sys package. Fine. So the message is in the first index of this function. So we will write 0 over here in the subscript. And then we'll again print a message, print try again. Fine. And the loop will go up and will ask for an integer again. And at the end, if this break statement will execute, then at the end, the reciprocal of x is r will be displayed. Fine. So let's see the output, how it works. First of all, user has input a character A. Enter an integer, user has input A. So what is the exception? Oops, class value error has occurred. Please try again. So it is showing you there is some value error because the user has input a wrong input A and it should be an integer. Let's see another output. When it will go back, it will ask for another input and user has given the input as 1.5. Again, value error has occurred because he didn't enter an integer. Next time, user has input 0. Then again, an exception has occurred, 0 division error. And last time, user has input 5. Now this is an integer and proper result will be displayed. The reciprocal of 5 is 0.2. So this is how we can display an error message, an exception message by using sys.exceptionInfo function. If there is some critical code, some crucial code in our program, there is a critical code where we are in doubt that an error has occurred over here, we'll put that in try block, and in except block, we print the message or handle that exception with the proper message to the programmer so that he can rectify his program. So this is called how to handle exceptions in Python. Next one is catching specific exceptions in Python. In this program, it has displayed you exceptions automatically. Sys.exceptionInfo displays the exceptions automatically. Whatever be the type of exception, it displays. Either value error, type error, 0 division error, whatever be the error, it displays by itself. But if we are aware about different kinds of exceptions, we can handle them by ourselves also by writing like this. Try, pass, suppose there are some statements inside it. Then except, in the except block, we'll write except value error colon, and then we'll write appropriate message over here, print, that some value error has occurred. Except type error, comma, 0 division error. So it will handle all these two kind of errors, type error as well as 0 division error. So if any of these occurs, it will display a message that type error occurred or 0 division error occurred. Please input a new number. Fine, such kind of message can be printed over here. And we can also write an empty except as we have done earlier, except pass. Or we can simply print a message over here, some exception has occurred. If we don't know about what is what was the exception, we can just write some exception has occurred. So we can handle exceptions by our own also by writing the appropriate exception names, and if we don't know, we can just write except and colon and print the message some exception has occurred. Then next is try and finally. Finally means if it is very important to write finally. What does it mean? As we seen that try statement can have multiple except statements. Unlike Java, Python also exhibit an optional clause finally. This finally clause is also available in Java and it performs a similar function as it performs in Java. It gets executed automatically and is mostly used to release external resources. For example, while developing some large projects, we may be connected to a server on the network or to a file of GUI. Then in such situations, to release all the resources, finally exception clause can be used. It will ensure that all resources are freed up to guarantee successful execution of the program. Let's suppose we have written a large program and some exception has occurred. And we are not getting the exception, we are not resolving that exception, we are not getting it, how to resolve it. Then we can write the finally clause, which means whatever be the error, all the resources can be freed up by writing the finally clause, so that system can close all the files or free up all the resources so that they can be used by other processes and the whole program does not get halt. And for that we use finally clause. How to write it? Mostly it is used with file handling. We'll write try fp is equal to open. This is one statement from opening a file in file handling chapter. So I'll tell you how to do it. fp is equal to open check.text. That means we are going to open a file check with encoding. This is Unicode encoding UTF-8. And then we perform all the operations on file, like reading from the file, writing into the file, or updating the file. And whatever operations are being performed, if they contain any exception and we are not going to handle it, we can write the finally clause. Here is try and here we are writing finally. And in finally, what we'll do, we'll just close the file, fp.close. That means file is closed, and if system halts, it will not affect the content of the file. So we can write fp.close under the finally clause. That means the file will be closed safely and it will not harm our system. So that's why we can use finally. It is very important, the use of finally. This type of construct makes sure the file is closed even if an exception occurs. So this is clear from this note. Now Python user-defined exceptions. What are user-defined exceptions? We can create our own exceptions. Let's understand through a program. Suppose we are going to develop a game. And in game, user has to guess a number. This is a guessing number game in which user has to guess a number. If the number which is recorded in the system is similar to the number which he has input, if they are same, let's suppose the number is 10 is stored in the system and user guesses that number. He can input 8, 7, 6, any number. But if 10 will match with 10, then the user will win the game. So this is a game. Such kind of games you have seen in casinos or some fun zones also. So there are numerous games like this in mobile applications also. So how to develop that game? Let's see. We'll create a class for that. Since Python is an object-oriented language, we can create classes also. So we can create a class and the class name is guess, and it is being derived from the class exception. This is built-in class of Python for handling exceptions. So this is exception class of Python, and it is, we are deriving guess from the exception class so that exceptions can be handled through it. And we have just declared a class, we have not written any code inside it. So we'll just write the statement pass. I already told you pass statement is used just for creation or writing a comment only. We can give code of class over here later on. Fine. So we'll create another class value too small. So while guessing a number, user can input a small number from 10 or larger number from 10. So we'll create two such classes. One will be value too small and other will be value too large. And they will be derived from this base class guess. So guess is a base class and we are deriving two classes out of it, value too small and value too large. So there are two classes which we are deriving from guess, and guess is being derived from exception class. Fine. So in total there are 4 classes. This is built-in class, but these 3 are user defined classes. And we'll write pass over here. Similarly, value to large guess, and we'll write pass over here. So these are merely declarations of classes. And what we'll do now, our main program starts from here. We have set number value as 10, and we have written the loop. We'll use loop over here because user will guess numerous times. So we need to write loop. While true, try. This is a critical code, so we'll write it inside try block. Try colon I num is equal to int input enter a number. So first of all, user has input a number, and then we are comparing it. If I num is less than number, suppose if user has entered 5, if 5 is less than 10, it will print, it will raise an exception. We'll write the keyword raise over here. Raise value too small. That means it will jump to the value too small exception, which I have written on the next page. I'll show you now. Similarly, another condition is elif if I number is greater than number. Suppose user has entered 12. Then this exception will be raised, value too large. Fine. And break. This is just to handle exceptions. And then see, here exception is defined, except value too small. Let's see the code of value too small. What it will do? Except value too small, it will print this value is too small, try again. So loop will go up and will ask the number again. And if value too large exception will be raised, then control will come over here and message will be displayed to the user. This value is too large, try again. Fine. You can skip this print statement. And if both of these exceptions doesn't occur, if user guesses the right number 10, then the control automatically comes over here. These code will not be executed and the message will be displayed. Congratulations, you guessed it correctly. Fine. So let's see the output. Enter a number. First of all, user has entered 7. So 7 is less than 10. Then message will be displayed. This value is too small. Try again. Enter a number 20. Since this is greater than 10, so message will be displayed. This value is too large. And this process will go on until user guesses the correct number, which is 10. So message will be displayed. Congratulations, you guessed it correctly. So this is how we can create our own user-defined exceptions and how we can handle it. I hope you understand the concept thoroughly. So this is all about exceptions in Python. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.